ask a question. What were the other jobs? Did you ever work any other jobs besides music?
I was a culinary transportation engineer for many
Wait. A culinary transportation engineer.
Same.
pizza delivery.
Ah!
I was like, wait, in my head, I was like, okay,
I
either
got
this
that.
is I don't want
I,
to
I
I don't
knew it
want to
was
be
something
the
close, Bill.
I worked probably for 4 or 5 years delivering pizzas to pay the bills while I was playing in these various bands and trying to figure out how you make a living as a musician. And it was right from that pizza gig that I got into Morris's band in
From the
1985.
pizza gig.
And that was the same year I got
music
married. I
soul
had to
child and
postpone my
Boney
wedding.
James.
I had to postpone my wedding because I got the gig with Morris, and the schedule for that first tour interrupted our wedding plans. So
She's a patient woman. I take it.
she's a lovely woman.
Was your family encouraging of this decision? And this coming from a person who, you know, I my at least my dad was not too thrilled at once he eventually found out about the roots. But for you, was your family encouraging of you pursuing this passion, or was it like safety first and you know get the money, become a lawyer?
They were from that, we want you to be happy school of parenting, which I'm very grateful.
That's rare.
Very grateful. I am
Hippie-esque.
sure that they were worried. Um, but after Lily and I moved in together soon after, and I was living independently and was not, on their dole, and I think that they were supportive, is my recollection. And of
Okay.
course, once I started making a living as a sideman, and some of those early gigs they paid pretty well for back in the day, and I think that they were relieved. But now my father passed away a few years ago, but my mom, is still very proud of everything, and it's kind of weird for them that this has turned out for me because, as I said, there's no music in our family at all, and yet here I'm still doing this all these years later.
Sitting in Starbucks. I love it. One of the rare people you can actually buy a CD in Starbucks.
CDs. What are those?
Yeah, right.
Right?
So okay, did you play keyboards and sax in Morris's band?
Yeah. Well, I got the gig on keyboards.
So
They'd had
that
no.
is you with the okay, because I
Yeah,
was watching the Soul Train episode uh of the character in Oak Tree,
yeah.
and I was
That's me. Stage right keyboards is me.
with
I
the
have like a
guitar. That's you?
no. I have a trench coat on.
Yes, I know. Well,
I think I had
yeah,
a guitar. I think I was just playing on a stand. But yeah, no, I did a lot of those TV shows with Morris back from that era.
got
That
it.
was my
So
era.
tell
Colors of
that's your first
67.
gig.
That was my first real professional touring gig.
So tell me how did you get into to lead up to the story of how you got that gig?
Okay, so as I was playing in that band, line one, and we weren't really getting anywhere, and I was delivering pizzas, and I was like, man, this is getting kind of old, and then right around that same time, Morris is post Purple Rain. Morris was on the cover of Newsweek magazine, he was a
Hmm.
huge star. He broke up with Prince and moved to LA to put a solo band together.
Hmm.
And they had a cattle call audition, and somehow I caught wind of it that they were looking for a keyboard player. And I had a little Juno 60 keyboard that I was trying to write songs on. And I taught myself how to play Jungle Love and The Bird to the best of my ability because I'm not a great keyboard player, even to this day. I mean, I can, make things happen.
If you learn the song, you know what to do.
I learned the song, I can do it, and I had a groove, you know. I think I had the groove and I had a look, and I was happy when I was playing music. I was bopping around. They hired me that same day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that
So
started and Kurt Busquera was the drummer, Kirky B, and Roman Johnson was keyboard player, Gail Johnson was keyboard player, Ricky Freeze Smith was still doing it now, is still in the time now, was there then.
wait,
So
can I Kirk V he's
Kirky,
the Asian guy playing drums?
Filipino guy, yeah.
Filipino. Who is he? Because next to Zorro, I would always see, yeah, you
We were on all those Bud Fests with Zorro
right,
and
right.
New
So
Edition, right? That was who he was playing with, I
yeah,
believe.
New Edition, Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
So next to Zorro, I would see Kirkby everywhere.
Yeah.
And okay, let me know. And I'm not asking. Look,
It
you
was
have an illustrious.
Perky B's first gig too. We met that day, and our lives were transformed, honestly, because
Wow,
we're like, anyway, who
that is crazy.
Kurt Buscara is his name. He's still a very popular, successful session drummer. He's played with
I see it. I still see him working.
Mick Jagger, but he did Tom Petty for a while. A lot of big gigs.
I like that.
Yeah.
Great drummer.
Wait, this is you with the mustache? I'm looking at the video from Soldier.
That wasn't me with a guitar. I
Okay.
think there's like an American bandstand you can see me
Okay.
on with the time with Morris.
Okay.
Um, but I don't think that's me that you're seeing
No
right there.
mustache required, right, Boney?
Oh no, I no hat. It was just a younger version of me.
Got it. So, okay, explain to me during that period, how do you even get in the loop?
It was a constant struggle, I mean, it was how, tried to figure it out, networking, man. I mean, it was
But I
different.
mean, okay. I remember like when I was a teenager, it was like the end. So I came up right when the internet was getting established. But oftentimes people read like backstage, like or one of those trade local papers that would have listings of like audition for da da da, audition for da da da. I'll say today, and musicians come to me all the time, like, "Yo, I play da 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 da," and if they're serious about it, I will tell them that you probably want to figure out a way to get within at least 3 degrees of Adam Blackstone.
Yes.
Like Adam Blackstone basically
And Kiasha
controls.
Blackstone.
He runs the
Yeah.
mafia. Like he's the mafia. Like he's
Him and his
if
wife,
you
yes.
yeah, if you can figure out, and sometimes, and I tell them all the time, like you might not have access to Adam, but you might have access to a cat that plays with a cat that knows Adam. So it's almost like you almost got to audition for like 3 cats before you even get to kiss the ring. What was the system in '85 in terms of like, I hear a gig coming up, and like who did you have to know that's the ring to kiss to get inside the game?
Look, I don't really remember too specifically how I heard about the Morris thing, but I do remember that after I was doing Morris for a few years, and that was like my gig, he was busy and I convinced him I could play saxophone too, so he gave me a spot in the show. He would run off and do a costume change during Gigolos Get Lonely too, and I would lead the band for a good 5, sometimes 10 minutes in arenas
Okay.
with saxophone solo. And so I got sort of somehow known as a cat that could play keyboards and saxophone. And that was a valuable thing in the 80s,
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, word of mouth. And then I think I caught the attention of Tony Maiden from Rufus.
From Rufus.
Time was not an Adam Blackstone, but putting some bands together for people. So I went and did Randy Crawford with him. And then he got me in with the Isley Brothers a couple years after that. I got in with a guy named Cornelius Mims, who's a bass player. He put me in with Ray Parker Jr. and Sherelle, and I just was doing enough gigs that somehow people knew who I was, and my phone would ring.